Importing audio files into After Effects is very similar to importing video files. Matter of fact, quite often audio is embedded alongside the video when you import a video file. If it's an audio-only file, After Effects takes the most common formats like .wav, .aif, and .mp3. Just select them and import them. The one thing to be careful though is make sure you have the rights to use any music or sound effects that you bring into After Effects. Whenever you combine audio, music, with graphics, you need a special license known as a synchronization license to put the two together. So you can't just rip your audio CDs or download a track from iTunes. You need to make sure you're using stock music that's already been rights cleared, or work with a local musician or band to compose some original music for you. There's also lots of great programs like Ableton Live, GarageBand, Sony Asset, etc. that make it easier for you to create your soundtracks. But once you've imported it, now let's play around with how you use it inside a composition in After Effects. To import an audio track, you can either use the normal file import command you're used to, or you can also browse in Bridge. In Bridge, as soon as you select an audio track, it will start previewing in the preview panel. If you like that track, you can just double-click it and it'll open up in After Effects. And there's my audio track. To audition audio tracks once they're inside After Effects, you have a couple of choices. If you hold down Option on Mac or Alt on Windows, then double-click, it will open up in that platform's media player. If you double-click it without the modifier key, it will open up in the footage panel. You don't see any imagery because this is an audio-only track. You don't see a thumbnail up here in the project panel either, but you can still preview it. I'll press 0 on the numeric keypad, just like I would for a video clip. And there I'll hear my playback. Okay, let's add this to a composition. That 08 Wiggly that Trish was playing with earlier would be a good track to add some fun music to. I'm going to go ahead and jump down to 08 Wiggly Final, something that's already finished and already has a text animation in it. See where the text settles down there. I'm going to locate my audio track, and I can just drag it into the comp panel or drag it down into the timeline panel. Since it's audio only with no video content, its position's not important. You can also use the normal shortcut of Command or Control /. To preview audio once it's in a composition, you can't just press the space bar because it's not a real-time playback. If I do that, you can't hear anything. Instead, you either want to do a normal RAM preview, 0 on the numeric keypad, but that takes some extra time because it has to calculate the video just to play the audio. The really cool audio shortcut is to press the period key on the numeric keypad, and that will preview audio only. I'm going to press it now. And the neat thing about that is that it's an automatic instant playback, no rendering required. If you want to adjust how long of an audio preview you can hear at one time, that's actually done underneath Preferences, Previews. And here's where I get to set the duration of my audio preview. Previous versions of After Effects, this used to be a fairly short number. I prefer longer values now, like 20 or 30 seconds. It gives me a good segment of music or dialogue to listen to. Layers which have audio content grow an extra switch as well. They have an audio mute switch. You're used to the video switch to turn video on and off. It's just identical, but for audio only. No sound, with sound. You can use an audio track as is, or you can adjust its level. It's kind of like the equivalent of opacity. I'll show that in the next movie.